Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of RiesKitchen. Today we're making a traditional Maltese dish, one that my dad taught me. It's an octopus stew, and apologies to any Maltese speakers, but it is a Stuffat Tal-Qarnit. I gave it a shot. It's not hard to make. The ingredients mostly will be in your cupboard, apart from the octopus of course, which is the star of the show. So let's get straight into it, shall we? So first up we have octopus, brown onion and garlic, black olives, crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, or in Maltese, tomato conserve, mixed herbs, capers, red wine, potatoes, frozen peas and a lemon. So let's talk about the star of our dish, octopus. Now I'm using large octopus, not baby octopus. If you're going to do baby octopus, you're going to skip this step into the stew. Now, my gorgeous Auntie Vivi, when she made octopus stew, always put the cork out of the red wine into the stew pot. And that's actually a common myth around the Mediterranean, that stops your octopus being rubbery and hard. Science has told us that isn't true, but there are a couple of ways that we can make sure that our octopus is soft and buttery like. So the first thing is freeze it. So I've frozen this and you'll see that it's still actually a little bit frozen even though it was thawing out in the fridge overnight. That's just the way it is. So I've frozen it. That will help break down the protein cell walls and make it softer and less chewy. The second thing I'm about to do is the shock treatment, and I learnt this in Spain, and this always guarantees beautiful buttery octopus. So I have a pot of water here that is boiling quite hard. It's not salted, there's no need to salt when you're playing with octopus. So literally, I'm going to dip these pieces of octopus, dunk them into the boiling water, 3 seconds, pull it out, dunk it, pull it out, dunk it, pull it out. And doing it to both pieces, one at a time, because that's just easier to handle. And then we're going to gently simmer the octopus for 20 minutes in that water. So first up, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and out. 1 and 2 and 3. And the second time, in. Out. Last one, in. Out. And you can see the change it's made to the tentacles. All right, so we're going to do that again to this piece. 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm just going to simmer these for 20 minutes. Right, so I've taken my octopus out and I've just popped it in a bowl here to cool so I can then chop it up. It's a bit too hot to handle. So I've just heated a little bit of olive oil in my pot. And I'm going to add my onions that I've diced up and the garlic that I've crushed. And I'm just going to fry those off till it starts to soften and go a bit translucent. The smell of frying onions always draws you in, doesn't it? It's just the sweetness that comes out as we've gently made those translucent. All right, so into our pot, I'm going to add my tin of tomatoes. And I'm just going to add a can of water, just to get all the goodness out of the tin. Our capers, olives. I like mine with the pip still in them. You can de-pip them if you really like, or if you're serving kids. And the tomato paste. And now I'm just going to stir that all together and let that come to a simmer. Now the last bit of prep for our octopus is just to cut it up into bite-sized pieces. So the thick ends of the tentacles, I'm obviously going to cut into rings, but I'm going to try and leave some nice bits of the curl of the thin end because they look really good on the plate. So it's about thinking about how it's going to look as well as how it's going to taste. It's still a bit warm, but so at this thick end, I'm just going to cut it into slices, and I know I'm using my chef's knife here, but I probably could even do it with a butter knife. Like, this is just cutting so easily, as you can see, into bite-sized pieces. Gosh, I love the aroma of capers. They just make a dish, they really do. Okay, so into here I'm just going to add my wine. Good wine. You don't cook with wine you don't drink. Good wine. Our mixed herbs. And goes my octopus. I'm going to zest in my lemon. Give that a stir, and now we're going to cover that and let it simmer for half an hour. Now for our last step. Gosh, my kitchen smells good. Give it a stir, and we have this gorgeous, rich sauce. So the last step is I'm going to add my peas. Every Maltese dish has peas, certainly the way my dad cooked. And diced potato. Now just stir that. I'm going to leave the lid off because I want to evaporate some of that. And I'm just going to cook those till the potatoes are cooked. So usually 15-20 minutes. Just on a really gentle simmer. Oh, the aroma in my kitchen makes me feel like a little girl again, to be honest. All right, those potatoes, just take another one. They're fork soft. That's ready to go. So now to serve this, let's turn that off. To serve this now on a big bowl of pasta, sprinkle of cracked pepper, some fresh parsley out of the garden. This is an amazing dish. Can't wait. Now for all the details of today's recipe, don't forget to check out my blog at the link below. But as always, the best bit's in the eating. I just like a little bit more pepper, a little bit more parsley to help it pop. The octopus is just so soft and buttery. And all those flavours meld together. I feel like a little girl in my dad's kitchen. I hope your family enjoy this as much as mine do. Now I'm going to cry. Till next time, everyone. Ciao.